Let us start today by setting up our spiral. You need to reserve the first 3 pages for your table of contents. Let's go ahead and label those pages as table of contents. There's the first page. The second page. And the third page. You will be able to write on the backs of these pages. For the rest of your notes, you probably will not write on the back of the pages as we take notes. You are going to need to number the remaining pages of this spiral in the upper right-hand corner. For instance, I'm going to do the first 5 pages. I want you to do the same right now. Notice that I'm only doing the front side of the page. Let us go back to page 1, where we will be taking notes, and let us set up our Cornell note format. Remember that you will need to section 2 lines at the top and 5 lines from the bottom. So I'm going to mark 5 lines right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm also going to mark these 2 here. Now, I have given you your Cornell note guide. Put this on the left-hand edge next to the spiral. Oops. Okay. Remember, probably it might help us if we go ahead and draw this horizontal line right now. You could go ahead and do these at the top. Then we're going to make that line to section the left from the right hand. And I'm going to set up 2 more pages for today. You may do so right now with me. Okay, I have 3 pages set up. I'm going to slide this in further in my spiral so that I do not lose it. Later I will put it in a binder If you will remember, we need to put our name, and that is first and last name in that upper right hand corner. We also need to spell out the date, and Tuesday is September 2nd. Here on our first blue line, we need to put our topic, and today's topic is lesson 1.1, Rational and Irrational Numbers. We need our essential question right here. How do you express a rational number as a decimal and approximate the value of an irrational number? Now, I took a little bit more room than we allotted, but that's okay. Remember, our left-hand side is for headings or vocabulary words. We have several vocabulary words. The first is rational number. We're going to put the definition on our notes side. It is any number that can be written as a fraction A over B. A second vocabulary word, terminating decimal. A decimal number with a finite number of digits. Please notice I am changing color with each word. That will help me study a little bit better. Repeating decimal is my next word. That is a decimal number that has a block. of digits, of one or more digits, that repeat indefinitely. And now I want to do some examples. Some of these examples I am taking from the pages in your book. Let's start with 1/4. All fractions are actually division problems, so 1/4 means that we have 4 divided into 1. And I know this is going to be a decimal, so I'm going to set it up with a decimal point and 2 zeros. Put the decimal in my quotient. Now, of course, 4 does not go into 1. It will go into 10, however, 2 times, and that is 8. Leaves me a remainder of 2. I bring down my 0. 4 goes into 20 5 times without any remainder. So 1/4 equals the terminating decimal of 0.25. Let's do 1/3, which means 3 divided into 1.00. Again, 3 does not go into 1. 3 will go into 10 3 times. Leaves me a remainder of 1. Bring down the 0. Goes into 10 3 times. Leaves me a remainder of 1. So therefore, 1/3 equals 0.3 with a repeating bar, because this pattern is going to continue. I'm going to turn my page at this time. I'm not going to worry too much about my title or my essential question here, because I'm continuing notes. Now later I'll go back and I'll put the title here so that I know this is a continuation of the same notes. Now the calculator can do the same work for us. So let's say I have 5/11. I'm going to take my calculator, turn it on. If I have anything there, I'm going to clear it out. Okay. Again, the fraction bar means division. So I'm going to do 5 divided by 11 and push enter. Notice I get a pattern that repeats. 4 5 4 5 4 5. So this is equal to 0.45, and the pattern that repeats is 4 5, so my repeating bar goes over both of those. I could also try 1/8. And again, I'm going to do 1 divided by 8, and I just get 0.125. I do expect you to put a leading whole 0 to the left of the decimal on any decimal number that does not have a whole number value greater than 0. Let's try 2 1/3. Well, 2 1/3 is actually the sum of 2 plus and I'm going to put the 1/3 inside parentheses. I'm going to enter, and this time I get 2.3 with a repeating bar. We have some more vocabulary words at this time. I have square root, which is the number multiplied by itself to form a product. I have principal square root, that is the non-negative square root of a number, indicated by the symbol and here we have the square root sign. Now we actually have a name for that symbol. It is a radical sign. And it is indeed that symbol itself. I'm going to go ahead and turn the page because I have some calculator notes that I want to add in here before we do an example. I'm going to use a highlighter on this. So I'm going to head this as calculator notes, and then there's the L. And I'm going to use my highlighter at this point. You access the radical using second x squared then you'll put your number in, and then you want to close your parentheses. So let's find the square root of 169. Actually, we're going to find two square roots because there is a positive square root and there is a negative square root.